Hello and welcome, beautiful, vibrant souls, to today's Pick a Card reading, where we are going to be looking at what makes you unforgettable, with a positive spin, just in case you were curious. So yeah, this is a pretty self-explanatory reading, but we're going to be looking into what it is that you do, what qualities you have, what really catches people's eye. This might be different than what you think is the most unforgettable or noticeable thing about you. You might be surprised. There might be a particular individual that comes through in your reading that's like really heavily focused on these qualities about you, or this could just be in general. So you could also pick with either of those two things in mind. You could pick a pile with, why am I unforgettable to this person, or just want to pick a pile based on, excuse me, just based on what people in general find unforgettable about you. So today's all about you, boo. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I don't have a pithy segue right now. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So we have 3 options to choose from, as usual, with all of my different palm stones. So we have option 1 with the Ocean Jasper. Can you see that? Let me just look. Oh, look at it. It's so beautiful. We have option 2 with the Orange Calcite. She's such a happy little bean. And we have option 3 with this Rainbow Moonstone. Ooh. So feel free to take all the time you need. You can pause the video if required, meditate, contemplate on the stacks in front of you. And when you have selected a pile that best resonates with your energy, please feel free to go to the timestamps in the description box below to head to your selected option. With that, I'm gonna start with group 1. Excuse me. Hi, group 1. Okay, so one of the things I really like about this Ocean Jasper is it almost looks like where the ocean meets the shore. You might be somebody who's a really good kind of balance point between, with water and earth here, your emotions and practicality. You might just be a kind of like a very balanced person in general. I also feel like what I was getting was like you're a safe point for other people. Like you're the like when they feel like they finally reach shore, right? Excuse me. You're kind of that like safe place to land for others is kind of what I'm picking up here. So you might, for some of you, just because I'm noticing this green is very similar to the cloth, for some of you, you might not be aware of how much you emotionally impact others, but like this is giving me kind of like Queen of Pentacles sort of energy, that you're just like you're a very safe, secure place for other people to land. And even though it like kind of like, again, 'cause it's blending into the background, even though some of the things you do might feel very natural to you, like of course I would help in this situation, of course I would do this, of course I would do that, excuse me, the person that you're asking about, or people in general who come into contact with you, who notice this about you, it makes a massive impact. Because look at how there's way more green here than there is of like the speckled brown. So it's like you have a much larger impact than you realize. Not only do your good deeds not go unnoticed, but I think they make a much bigger ripple effect than you can imagine. So that's beautiful, but let's get more details. Okay, I'm not surprised. 6th house with craft. And the keywords here are work, details, health, well-being, yeah, diet, service, daily rituals, contribution, organization, purification, skills, apprenticeship, and method. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So I was laughing because I'm sorry guys, my allergies and asthma are just kicking up horribly. I was laughing because the 6th house in the traditional wheel of the zodiac is Virgo's house, so we have more of that earth energy. But I was really drawn into well-being and contribution. Again, I feel like you're a very nurturing person, a very grounded, present soul. You have no problem being of service to others. I think it's something that you like to do. I'm almost picking up this energy of you see it as your like your civic duty, your spiritual duty. It's something where it's like you're like, well, yeah, no, of course I'm going to do this. it's the honorable thing to do. And I feel like you're a very morally upright person, or you always try as much as possible to be in alignment with your moral values. And that not only impresses people and sticks with them, I think it inspires some people, but it also makes, like I said, a much bigger impact than I think you're aware of. You might be, there's something about the way you live your life that serves as an example. So both the people that you help, but also people who observe you, right? Maybe people who are more in their shadow and they have resisted looking at that sincerely. You're unforgettable because the way you live your life, and this feels very grounded and down to earth. Like you're not preachy about it. You're not ostentatious about it. You know, it's not for attention. It's just you live your life in a way that, again, very honorable, a way that you see fit and the way that you value. And the service that you lend to other people from that place is very genuine. So people who have been kind of, again, in their shadow and resisting, I'm looking at the word purification, resisting healing and integration of that shadow, look at you living your life in the way you do, and it makes them stop and think. I'm just making sure you can see where I put the card, because I always put them out of the frame. Oh, I got it today. Yay. It makes them stop and think. Yeah, and again, let's just use serve as an example is what I keep hearing. Like, you serve as an example for how to live a good life. And it's not necessarily like everyone should live the way you do, but again, the way you live in alignment with your values, the way you let your actions speak for you. I feel that very heavily with this group. You don't spend a lot of time telling people what to do. You don't spend a lot of time, sorry if you can hear my knuckles crack. You don't spend a lot of time, like I said, preaching. You live it, and you let your life serve as an example. Some of you might be very spiritual or very religious. You might have a position within the community in some way, shape, or form where you are visible in a place of service. But people really notice that. Some of you really take the mind, body, spirit connection very, very seriously, and you live your life in alignment with those values. So some of you could be like vegan or vegetarian, or you know, you like to live in a way that's environmentally sustainable. It's something like that. People see you living your truth and living a higher purpose in your everyday life, right? In your daily rituals. Oh, that's on the card too. I totally forgot about that. And that really stands out to a lot of people. It makes them stop and think. So I think that's a really cool thing. Look at you. Balance, exactly. You're a very balanced, measured person. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, guys. A very balanced, measured person. We have a lot of green and white here, so it's like a heart and crown chakra kind of energy, and also here as well. So you find a good way to balance between the very like human emotions, like the things that you feel, and your spiritual calling. Those are like the two things that lead your life, right? So even if like you're, you know, you're having like an off day, right? Emotionally, you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't feel like it, or you're feeling burnt out, you're very much able to hold in equal value and measure of like, okay, I'm being a human being right now, I'm gonna feel my feelings, or I'm gonna take a break, and then I'm gonna get right back to it. And you're able to do this. This what gives you like spiritual, moral endurance. I'm so sorry, guys. This is what gives you that stamina to allow you to keep living your purpose for, you know, like throughout your entire life. Again, I think other people see you as a very balanced individual. You have a lot of, like you've got a decent grip on moderation, or if you've struggled with that in the past, they see that you're working on that. I don't know why this doesn't look anything like it, but if this makes me think of a compass, I'm thinking of a compass right now. So I feel like you help people reground, regroup, and find their center and find their moral center, right? Their true north once again. And you could do this very actively. Some of you could be like life coaches, you could be counselors, you you know, you could work for nonprofits, you could be a philanthropist. But some of you, again, just do this in how you live your life. There's something here where you kind of help recalibrate people. Again, it's like you're the safe shore. So when they're lost at sea, especially with the water imagery we were talking about earlier, and the emotions, people who are emotionally struggling or who are lost in a lot of their feelings, and it could be the cause of making decisions that otherwise leave them ungrounded. So for example, excuse me, if somebody's dealing with a lot of emotional pain, and they turn to substances, you might be that good waypoint to help meet them where they're at and empathize with them, but also help them come up with healthier alternatives and solutions so they can kind of get grounded in their life again. They can get, like, you actually help people through neither ignoring the problem nor enabling it, and you empathize with people and like really just meet them where they're at. And people who get the opportunity, like people you help and people who are guided by you, never forget this about you. You make a massive impact in people's lives. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. Oh, romance. Ooh. I want to flip this one as well. Perseverance. There's more of that green. So green might be a really significant color for you guys. More heart chakra energy here too. I feel like what I'm getting is when you love someone especially, and it doesn't have to just be romantic love, because look at how we have this little dude, he's almost naked and she's half naked, and like nakedness always implies vulnerability. You find people in a vulnerable moment and you protect them, I feel like, right? Because this person's half naked, but this person's almost entirely naked. I feel like you're very open and vulnerable about your strengths and your weaknesses, and that's actually like your power. So when you meet people where they're at, right, where they're kind of like half in, half out, you can like make people feel sheltered and shielded while still being vulnerable and helping to kind of guide them moving forward. This deck has cards where, as you can see, the Merkaba is the same color as the background, and one's where it's different. So when they're the same, I take that to mean that your internal frequency is in resonant harmony with your external reality. And we have the number 4 here. So this is where I feel like you've done this in your own life and you help other people do this. 4 is all about stability. You help people find stability, like persevere toward emotional stability, right? Or like finding emotional stability and then having that manifest outward into their external reality. So making changes to support their emotional growth, to support their emotional health. Especially, again, with people that you're very close with emotionally, or people who get very close to you. This has this energy of like, I would lay down my life for them. I would do whatever it takes. Like, you really get in there and roll up your sleeves and do the work, right? This is where, like, let's say you have a friend who's going through something really difficult and emotional, and maybe in the past, if they've turned to, you know, alcohol, you know, in those moments, you're like, hey, when you're having a hard day, instead of going to the bar or instead of grabbing the bottle, call me. And if they call you, you're the kind of person that you'll come right over. Like you'll do the work. And it's not like again, it's not enabling people. It's just like you help people through their very difficult transitional moments, because people know that you see them, you don't judge them, and that you're really like, this is very beautiful energy of service. And as a result, I feel like a lot of people either directly heal from your work, or they get the support they need to get to further healing. You're like the bridge, right? Again, it's that safe waypoint. Like, you help get them to land, get them to a safe shore. And so that way they can continue on in their journey. That's really beautiful. Excuse me. So let's pull you some tarot and get some further details. What's this one? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna flip it though. Yeah, we have the Hierophant at the bottom again. This is very spiritual energy. This is something that you believe is part of your path. It's very honorable. I wish I could come up with a different word, but it's like, nope, I do this because it's the right thing to do. Even if it's like inconvenient, you may have in your own life have had to reevaluate your relationship to service at various points to make sure that you're serving others in a way that doesn't burn you out, and making sure you have a healthy relationship to service in order to keep participating in spiritual service, but that you know that you're here to do that. Very much so. Like, I feel that with this group, you're like, nope, this is what I'm here to do. This has this energy of be the change you want to see in the world, you know, I can't control what other people do, but I can control what I do, and a better world starts with me today, right now. I feel like you guys are not afraid to do the work. You're not making excuses. You get in there and do it. Very hardworking energy too. Two of Cups reversed. Okay. Eight of Cups. This is the Rainbow Tarot, by the way. Yeah, the Chariot reverse. Okay. And Two of Wands. So you meet people when they are in this pivotal place with the Two of Wands, right? This pivotal place is where they are on their shadow work journey with the Chariot, and they are contemplating coming into union with spirit, coming into union with all aspects of self. This is, to me, you meet people at a point on their shadow work journey where they are struggling with their connections with the Two of Cups, right? This is usually about emotional balance, reciprocity, equal give and take. You meet them when they are not participating in that. Either they feel like they're not getting it from other people, they feel really isolated and alone in the world. They may have felt like everybody has left them, or they are afraid of that happening, so they are the ones causing the problem, like, you know, causing those things to happen, so they feel like they have more control over it. You know, they're not acting in their highest good. They're running away from their emotional responsibility to themselves and to the people in their life. And you meet people when they're at this point on their shadow work journey, and you help support them to support them through this. I also feel like you help people to leave behind toxic connections in their life. I'm going to say toxic emotions, and I want to say that with a caveat that our emotions aren't toxic, right? But like cycles that continue to produce toxic emotions. So it doesn't have to just be relationships, but it's like I said, you know, if there is somebody's using alcohol to numb emotional pain, if they're, you know, they have like vices or addictive tendencies or unhealthy coping mechanisms, you help people to walk away from that is not truly serving them. Things that they might be kind of attached to, but that is it's leaving them imbalanced emotionally. Excuse me. You help people walk away from that. You help anyone who's fallen off the path with their shadow work journey to get back on track and moving back towards success. In the traditional card with the Chariot, this is, I think I mentioned this is Cancer's energy. A lot of water here. So there we go. There's more of that water. In the traditional card, the Sphinxes are black and white, and the Chariot is all about, you know, victory and will, fast forward movement. And to me, the Charioteer is so successful with the black and white Sphinxes because they have mastered their shadow. They have integrated. They know all parts of themselves, and they work with their energy, not against it. And there's, yeah, that element of self-mastery. So this is what people always remember about you. Like when people talk about it, they'll be like, oh, group one, you know, really came in and saved me at a moment that I needed it. Group one had a lot of, you know, wisdom, offered me words of wisdom that really changed my life. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Group one was always there for me, even when they didn't have to be. You know, even when nobody else was, or even when, even when I was being like a fuck up. Or so, like, you know, you're not afraid to help people in their difficult moments, no matter how they're showing up. And this can also be where some people are like, you know what, I was in a period of my life where, you know, I was just running away from everything, or I was like not acting right, and, you know, something that group one said that made me really think, or group one kind of, you know, called me out, and I'm really glad they did in retrospect. I didn't like it at the moment, but I'm really glad they did. Yeah, I cut the deck. We have the Wheel of Fortune reverse. When people are out of alignment, that's when you find them and help guide them back. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So let's get some more details. Why people find you unforgettable. I want to look at this card but not take it. Okay, yeah, the Hanged Man reverse. You help people get unstuck. You also help people give up things that are not serving them anymore, right? Eight of Pentacles, you help people get back on track and do the work. So especially people who have stalled out in matters of the heart and on their emotional journey. Knight of Swords, okay. Page of Cups, okay. Seven of Wands, yeah, exactly, more of the same. So we have air energy here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I feel like we were saying, when excuse me, people have emotions they're running away from or they're defensive about, this is kind of like another point in time where you step in, especially if they're running, like I said, running away from their emotions. I can't get this to settle the way I wanted to. That's fine. Running away from their emotions, that's kind of when you step in. You're like, nope. I also feel like too, I feel like generally speaking, your energy is very calm and very calming. But when somebody is really, because the Knight of Swords to me can be kind of a pain in the ass. I like the Knight of Swords, but sometimes the Knight of Swords can be a total jackass, to be completely honest. And I feel like when people are being a jackass, sometimes you'll kind of like have to put them in their place a little tiny bit. And like, it's not that I feel like you're unkind about it, but I feel like you're very blunt, right? And you might be blunt about this even, like, let's say you're living your life in a way that speaks to your morals, and somebody tries to kind of play devil's advocate, you know, be like, well, it's not really your responsibility to like care about blah, 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 right? I feel like you're very much like, no, it is my responsibility. If you want to see a different world, go make it. Like, I feel like you're very, like, when it comes to your moral beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, like, I feel like you are not taking shit. You're very matter of fact. So it's not necessarily judging another person, but another person might almost feel defensive because you're so strong in your beliefs that they try to test your boundaries, and it's it's a wall of steel. There might be many other things in life you're very go with the flow about, but when it comes to that, or like how to treat people, how to be kind to others, like, you know, mental health concerns or mental health battles, whatever the line is for you, it's like you will not budge. And so that will send some people trying to run the other way. You see how she's almost looking like a little smug here? Like, I feel like you always know, like, run all you can run. You can't hide from your emotions. You're going to have to deal with it at some point. So you may have some people be defensive with you and try to fight you initially. And with the Seven of Wands, the Six of Wands always talks about success and victory, and this person's fighting it off, right? I think you know deep down when people are giving you a hard time about this, it's because they're fighting some aspect of self. So there's this little bit of like, yep, I know, you'll be back. Like, it's that kind of understanding of like, you'll know what I mean someday, like someday. And I think you know this deep down, even if somebody doesn't come back around, it's like, someday this person's going to be like, oh, maybe group one was kind of right. And so there's this like energy of like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know why, it's just really funny to me. But people, I do feel like eventually, whether they come back and tell you about it or not, people see your point. I feel like you're not somebody who feels like they need to be right. Excuse me. But you speak with authority about the things you are confident on. And as a result, there is this kind of inner knowing that somebody's like, look at how they've got a sword tattoo here, right? It's like you can run from the truth, but you take it with you, right? You've made a mark on people. You've left an impression. So no matter how much time it takes, no matter how long they're running from the truth, whether they tell you about it or not, there's going to be a point where they circle back around. They're like, I see what they meant. I see what they were saying. Yeah, no, that checks out. And that's kind of funny, but people, this is what I mean. No matter how much time goes by, people just never really forget you. They never forget the lessons that you've imparted to them one way or another. You make a deep impression. And it's your devotion to your work that really speaks volumes. You know, because I talk about this a lot, but when you do service work of any kind, especially working with other people, a lot of it is thankless work, but you dig deep every single day. You find your better qualities, right? You find your compassion, your patience, your motivation, your understanding, you know, your ingenuity, all the things that you bring to your work, all the things that, you know, you dig deep and you look for that spring forth from your soul. You throw them into the void every day, and all you can really ever do is hope that some of it somewhere makes a difference. And those moments where people come back and they thank you, or they have a breakthrough, or they, you know, say, you know what, I kind of see what you're saying now. Like, this changed my perception. That's the moments that make it worth it. Those are those beautiful moments that confirm to you that you're on the right path. And I think this group, you know, if you've chosen this group, you've had at least some of those in your life, and that's what kind of propels you forward. But I also feel like there are long periods where you don't get any of that confirmation, but you still persevere because you know in your heart it's the right path. You know what to do. And that really speaks volumes. A lot of people want to look for validation and proof of what they know is true or what they know they need to be doing. And you live your life in accordance with your spiritual calling. Your soul leads the way. And your heart is trailing right behind the entire journey. And that really speaks to people a lot, because a lot of people don't have that conviction and that strength of self, that strength of character. A lot of people struggle to find that, to dig deep and to find those better qualities. And a lot of people see you as a leader. A lot of people see you as an example, a positive example. So I think that's just about everything I have for you today, Group 1. This has been really cool. Let's be friends. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. It's been so nice to have you here. I hope I get to read for you again in the future. If you're interested in this reading for yourself, please feel free to DM me. It's not a standard reading in my shop right now, but I'm happy to make it as a custom. And if there are enough requests, I will add it as a permanent fixture. So this was really nice. It's been excellent to have you here. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful time and energy with me. And I will hopefully talk to you soon, okay? All right, bye. Oh my gosh. Hi, Group 2. Okay, I'm just taking a sip of my iced coffee, actually. So what do people think? Why do people find you unforgettable? I'm feeling like really creative energy off of this. I feel like you have, first of all, I'm seeing like a smile or an infectious laugh. Your joyful energy, however often that occurs for you, is infectious. Like this is this like kind of like smile that could light up a room sort of energy. But it's when you're in your highest joy, specifically. That's when people are like, wow. Okay, Group 2. People become enchanted with you sometimes, or enamored with you. Excuse my burp. I'm sorry, I ate a burrito before I started filming. It was really good, if that helps at all. That's why. All right, we have Leo with the Lover. I'm not surprised. Expressive, creative, loving, playful, warm, overt, self-confident, flirtatious, glowing, bedazzling, extroverted, vital, guileless, egotistical, juicy, proud, trusting, and excessive. Excuse me. Okay. So some of you might be Leos or have significant Leo placements. You might also have a lot of 5th house placements. I'm really drawn into expressive, playful, warm, bedazzling, and guileless. So this is very much inner child energy to me, especially when you're in this joyful energy. However that happens for you. For some of you, it might be when you go dancing with that disco ball. For some of you, it might be how you express yourself fashionably. It's just, we have like a lot of roses here. Are they roses? Like they're flowers, but I don't know if they're roses. I can't quite tell. If you guys can tell, feel free to put it in the comments. I don't think they're roses. I'm not great with flowers. I'm learning still. It's like, we have a lot of pink as well. So it's like when you love something, when your heart is in it, when you're, like I said, in that highest expression of joy, when you're authentically expressing yourself overtly, you carry that like warmth of the sun. No wonder you guys got that orange calcite. I almost put a different crystal in this pile, but then none of my guides are like, no, switch them. Like, okay, yeah, sure. People, that kind of energy is like crack. It's like, it's magnetic. And in those moments, like I said, with bedazzling catching my eye, people are enamored with you. People might really like the way you express yourself, maybe the way you talk. Again, if you have any like placements in Leo, like so for example, if you have Mercury in Leo, the way you speak is enchanting to people. Venus in Leo is another kind of energy where there's like, people like that shit. People are just really, really drawn to it. I really like that I was drawn into guileless because so one of the things people think is unforgettable about you is that you really love life, or you love at least some parts of life. Again, when you're in your highest expression of joy. So let's say you love to go dancing. When you're dancing, you are radiating this love for life, this desire, this passion, very like sacral chakra energy here. And especially when you're in that energy with guileless, it's very authentic, right? It's not like, oh, I'm pretending to love my life, I'm pretending to have a good time for social media. No, you are in it to win it. Like, this would be the kind of thing where, like, let's say you love dancing and you just go out there and you tear up the floor. Even if you're like a crazy dancer and it looks ridiculous, people will still gather around, people will still love it because you are authentically enjoying yourself. If you have a really unique or eclectic sense of style, even if it would like nobody else on the planet could pull it off, you can. And it's the key to it is your energy. Your energy is infectious. You could wear a paper bag, and if you were excited about it, people would be like, where did you get that? How do I size my bag for my body type? Right? Like, they're gonna look to you. You could like legitimately be like some type of influencer or like somebody in the public eye. Like, people, when you're in that energy, people look to you. So a great way for you to tell if you're on track with something in life is if it sparks your joy. And that's true of everyone, but especially for you guys. And the reason why is because when you're in that energy, that's the key to your magnetism and your abundance for you. Some of you might also have Leo in the 10th house as well. Sorry, I have a burp stuck and it's not happening. So if it comes out later, sorry. I'm also looking at this big cat yawning, and I kind of feel like it's like paired with guileless. I feel like you're somebody who, generally speaking, doesn't hide their emotions. You don't pull any punches. If you're bored with something, I don't think you're gonna be like rude about it, be like, I'm bored, but like, you're gonna turn down things that you don't really have a passion for if you can help it. You're gonna say yes to what you wanna say yes to and no to what you are not really into. And people like that a lot. People respect that a lot. And again, that's the key to living in your joy. And even if you're still kind of figuring out how to do that or finding your stride, many of you will have like moments where you've at least experienced that to kind of confirm, right? When something is a snooze fest for you, you might notice that things in your life aren't flowing. And when you are invested in what you do, when you love what you do, people are drawn to it like that. And so people will always remember that about you. They think you have this like this, this twinkle in your eye, this zest for life. So when you're in that energy, that's when everyone remembers you. The same way you could like live in the same town your whole life, go to the same places, dress how everybody else dress, follow the trends. If your heart isn't in it, nobody, like, it might be that people just don't notice you. But then the second you start living in your authentic joy, everyone starts noticing you. Everyone remembers you. People want to talk to you. You're like, I don't want to say the talk of the town, but kind of something similar to that. That's really good. That's so cute. I love that. So let's see what else you have. Womb. Okay, so whenever this comes up, especially with it being pink, this is again more of that like creation energy. But it being pink, this is very much like, and we have a lot of pink here, so pink might be a favorite color of yours, or that might be like, not to go all legally blonde, your signature color. This is where you're creating from that authentic place of love, right? From your pure joy about whatever it is. Focus. Okay, yeah. Not surprised. Yeah, we'll do this. Spiritual partnership. Okay. And happy ending. I love this so much. Okay. 93 reducing to a 3, 27 reducing to a 9. Either of those numbers might be important for you. Very heavy manifestation energy. You guys are excellent manifestors when you find your niche. Some of you, you're all going to be at different points on that journey. But when you find that thing, when you find that passion, that thing that makes you happy, we see more orange here. And with the orange and purple, this is like your sacral and third eye chakra in alignment. So you're spiritually in alignment when you're in tune with this creative energy of passion and desire, right? When you love what you're doing, you love your life, you get invested in it, you get focused on what you love, because your desires are divine. For group 2, your desires are divine. You are meant to have a happy ending, right? And I always talk about this with the connection between the third eye and the solar plexus chakra with the purple and the yellow. But I like to think that they're connected, right? Because the same way our body sends our brain sensory information about the material world around us and we process that, our third eye sends us information spiritually and psychically from the spirit realm. And because I always look at it like connected to the solar plexus chakra, the place from where we take action, it's that we get that intuitive impulse and we're supposed to act on it. This is, I think, why they call, you know, the gut the second brain, or why we can get like a gut feeling about something. And if we don't act on it, we can almost get like sick to our stomach sometimes. We'll keep getting that alarm bell feeling until we follow it, right? What I'm seeing here is that your desires are that divine sensory information, right? That spiritual information that you're supposed to act on. Your happiness is the key to your happy ending. You acting from a place of happiness, of love, of creation, of passion, of desire. That is your key to your happy ending. You are in a partnership with spirit. I do also think this is referring to a specific partnership in this lifetime. I will talk about that in a little bit. I'm trying to like sort through all the messages that I'm interpreting right now, because there's a lot of energy here, and I'm like, whoo. Some of you, you're all at different points on this journey with the cycles here, but some of you, you're really calling in something huge at this point in your life. And that's why there's like so much energy here. But yeah, you're in this process. So your thing that makes you unforgettable is your happiness, your passion, your desire, your creativity. Even if you're not doing something creative, like again, even if it's like you're wearing clothes that you love to wear, you're listening to music that you love as you're walking through the grocery store, when you are in that energy of, oh, holy shit, I love my life in this minute, you are a fucking magnet for everything. Partnerships, contracts, opportunities, compliments. That's when people are gonna like be the most all over you, because that's your energy is just infectious in that moment. Like, it's blissful and people want to be around it. And like, I'm even noticing the word vital here. Again, it's like essential, like life force, passion, energy. You guys are meant to have a happy ending in your life. You guys are meant to walk off into the sunset. Oh man, I hope this is my pile. I don't pick a pile before I read. I roll a little tetrahedron die for it afterward, because I don't want my personal life journey to influence my reading. But like, I hope I get this one. This is awesome. I think the biggest thing sometimes that might be like kind of difficult for you guys with focus is that sometimes you might have a hard time, because look at she's looking forward, but they're looking over there. Every so often, or this could be something where it's a huge problem for a portion of your life and then becomes less and less of a problem over time throughout different cycles. Pinpointing what that thing is, that passion is, might be a little bit of a struggle for you from time to time. You might struggle to find your focus. But just in general, what I'm getting with this card is that when you turn your focus, again, like whatever it is that's making you feel happy, you can change your focus as much as you want and still find success, as long as your heart is in it, as long as you love what you do. I want to know more about this though. Oh, that's my hair. Sorry. So what people find unforgettable about you in this context. I'm going to honor and take both. I wasn't going to, but then I wanted to. I want to look at this but not take it. The Three of Wands reversed. It seems like you manifest like that. This is what I mean. It's like you could be waiting somewhere forever. Like you could go to the same place over and over and over again. And if you're going and you're in this like low energy, people like might kind of just not really notice you. And it's like the second that you tune into this, like, oh my God, I absolutely love this, it's like everybody just suddenly notices you. This is where you get people coming up to you nonstop, trying to see like, you know, where did you get this, like this outfit? Where did you get this thing? How did you get into this hobby? Where, like, they're like, where did you come from? With the Three of Wands reversed, it's like you manifest like that. Like no time, no waiting time. Your ships, boom, they're here. They're on top of you. Congratulations. Yeah, the Empress, exactly. Oh, this is good. Oh, the Lovers. Ooh, okay. That answers that. Queen of Wands reversed. And the Six of Swords reversed. Okay, so here's the fly in the ointment. This is awesome. This is just what we were talking about. First of all, again, significant spiritual partnership might be indicated. We'll talk about it in a little bit. This is what I mean. Divine feminine energy, creative energy, abundant, right? Attractive. Everybody wants a piece of this goodness. The fly in the ointment, because she's very similar to this energy here, right? With the Queen of Wands, she's the happening, she's the hep cat here. She's the happening lady. She's tuned into spirit, and her passion is a testament to her spirituality. So why is she reversed? Six of Swords reversed. Because there is going to be, this doesn't happen until you go through this period of healing, especially about your creativity, your desire and passion, and your confidence. Six of Swords to me is always an inner child healing card. It's healing in general, but with a focus on inner child healing, because it usually shows a woman and her child in the boat. And this is what it might be with cycles. So like, let's say, you know, you never experienced this energy until you start going through a massive spiritual awakening and healing really old stuff, right? Let's say you quit some vices or some maladaptive coping mechanisms, and then boom, your shit starts taking off like that. That's because this is all predicated on timing. And I do feel like it's not just for you, but also for your divine life partner, which we will pull on in a minute. We'll get there. I want to kind of clarify this really quick. Knight of Swords. Okay, so this could have something to do with self-sabotage, I'm almost getting, like running away from the healing. This can also have to do with being in the mind instead of being in the soul. You might have a lot of placements on an air-fire axis, particularly Gemini and Sagittarius, as well as Aquarius and Leo. Obviously, certainly Aries and Libra can apply as well, but yeah, because then I have Page of Wands reversed. Whenever I see the King or Queen of one suit and the Page of the same suit, this is a parent-child relationship. Two of Cups reversed. There's going to be, you're going to have like drips and drabs of this as you go through healing cycles, but when you finally get to your big healing breakthrough, that's when this begins. And this is all about creativity and confidence issues that are left over from childhood. Again, also very much being in the mind instead of in the soul, because you guys are meant to live off of soul-based energy. That's the ticket to your happy ending. Again, following your intuition, following your inner knowing, following your desires, seeing your desires as divine, as like divine inspiration, like, hey, because this is in your heart, because this makes you happy, because this brings you a feeling of passion and drive and like this zest and zeal for life, that makes it divine. You should follow that, right? I think we also sometimes can get conditioned societally to believe that our desires are selfish, right? And you may have grappled with that for a while. You may have seen with the Queen of Wands a feminine in your life grapple with that, and that kind of made an impression. I will say too, sometimes to me, the King and Queen of Wands, when they're reversed and it's in a childhood healing context, can indicate a like very selfish or narcissistic parent. So if it was never really about you and never really about what you wanted, that might be a huge healing cycle that you have to overcome before you kind of flip the switch and turn this on. So I do see that here. But let's talk about this partnership. So one of the things I'm getting here with spiritual partnership is that for some of you, this shift is facilitated by meeting your divine counterpart. You guys hold a key to each other, and that's a huge part of your happy ending. You guys are meant to be happy, prosperous, abundant, and creative together. It's like I'm almost getting sink or swim together. That's the case for some of you. I want to pull cards for that circumstance. Yeah, the Queen of Cups, exactly. The Two of Cups reversed. The Five of Cups reversed. Oh, and the Ace of Wands, yeah. So for some of you, and we have the Eight of Swords reversed at the bottom, for some of you, this shift does have to do with a spiritual partnership with a divine counterpart. This person comes in at some point along your journey to have a relationship with you that helps you acknowledge and really process this loss from childhood, right? This kind of what this cost you emotionally, because this is usually about emotional balance and reciprocity and equal give and take, but it's reversed. So especially if you had like a very challenging relationship with a parent, or there were just circumstances in the home, maybe like, you know, your parents had to work a lot and so you took over household responsibilities. It was just never about you. It was never about what you wanted, right? You always were having to emotionally sacrifice for others. And with the Queen of Cups, this has made you incredibly loving, empathetic, nurturing, giving, emotionally mature. But it has made it hard for you to tap into your passion. So what's going to unlock this for you is your counterpart coming in to show this to you, to mirror this back to you, and to help you start fresh, right? Because you've reached this full maturation and evolution in your emotional landscape, and now it's time to tap into your passions, tap into your creative energy, because that's how you manifest a shitload of things. Now, for some of you, if this is not romantic with spiritual partnership, I do kind of want to get more details about what this is about, because I do feel like this is related to your turning point either way. Yeah, we have the Hierophant, and there's two people here. That's why this has to do with you and another person working on a spiritual purpose. Regardless of whether it's romantic or not, there is love between you and this person, but there's also the love of spirit that binds you two together. 10 of Wands reversed. The World reversed. Wow. And the 6 of Cups reversed. This is somebody you have past life energy with. This is somebody who not only you have past life energy with, but it's you and this parent that you grew up with, you know, like this situation, whatever, like whoever was involved in this situation, the three of you all have at least one significant past life together that's getting wrapped up this time around, right? 10 of Wands, it is about wrapping up this very difficult, challenging cycle in your life from this lifetime, but it's also from past lifetimes. It's finally getting wrapped up. So this person is here, their primary main focus, or at least their first main focus, is going to be helping you release this old cycle, helping you tap into your Empress energy, regardless of gender identity or expression, helping you see yourself as abundant, as creative, as figuring out what you want, with the cat here as independent, seeing your divinity. And I feel like this is a lifelong partnership, regardless of whether it's romantic or not. This person could be a business partner. This person could end up being a creative collaborator, or just like a really close friend. But you guys have this spiritual mission. You are destined to walk a path together for your entire life. Yeah, I cut the deck again. We have Judgment. Yep. This person's meant to change your life. You guys might end up getting, excuse me, some type of notoriety or fame even. You are meant to, you will be known. You are meant to be known. This is like a queen amongst men kind of energy. You are meant to be known. You are highly magnetic and highly attractive, especially after this healing turning point. And you are meant to have this happy ending. So I want to get more details about what people find you unforgettable for. So it's this beautiful energy, right? And I do feel like it inspires people, but it also just like invigorates people. Page of Pentacles, I feel like you inspire people to start their own projects, to try new things. Yeah, 6 of Pentacles, it's like, I can do it, so you can too. 3 of Cups, yes. All right, I can't get them to be straight aligned, sorry. 6 of Cups, yes. Knight of Pentacles, beautiful. Okay, so you encourage people to feed their inner child. You encourage people to find their joy. Again, it's very like inspirational, like, I can do this, so can you, and here's how. Or like, you know, let's say you have really unique sense of style and somebody's like, I wish I could wear this. You're like, you can, totally. Or like, you know, oh, I would love to wear whatever I want, but I'm not confident enough. You're gonna motivate people and inspire people. And I feel like your energy is just very warm and accessible. People will just like not only gravitate to you and want to be around you, want to be like you, but they feel like they're among like kind when they're with you. And that's true. And we saw that Queen of Cups earlier. And it's because you can really connect to people emotionally as well. You inspire people to play again, to go have fun, to experiment, to try new things, to get out there and like just grab a hold of life, right? Take a bite. And I feel like also too, to not be afraid of the journey with the Knight of Pentacles. So like, let's say, you know, people see you living your life and they're like, I wish I was that inspired. I wish I was that happy. You inspire people to go for their dreams, even if it will take a little bit, right? And this is because you understand that things take time, from your own experience. And it's very much like, hey, you know what? Just stay patient. You're going to find, you know, your style. You're going to find your voice. You're going to find your talent, right? You're going to find it. You might also inspire people on their own inner healing, like inner child healing journey as well. You meet yourself. You have learned, or you are learning, to meet yourself with patience, compassion, gentle curiosity, and a sense of, again, vibrancy, just like excitement for life. And even if you haven't fully mastered it, that's okay, right? That's where you're going. That's where you're heading. It's an inevitability. It's just it's just the amount of time it's going to take, right? It's only a matter of time. And people see not only what you are becoming or what you have become, but they see where you started, and your journey inspires them to do the work and find their own happiness, their own joy, nurture their inner child, find their own inner soul spark. And it's a gift. This is beautiful. So I think that's pretty much everything I have for you right now, Group 2. This was an awesome reading. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful time and energy with me. I hope this helped. And I hope I get to read for you again in the future. Yeah, take care, guys. Bye. Hi, Group 3. Okay. So immediately, as soon as I grabbed your cards, I'm getting very much divine wisdom. I'm getting like encyclopedic knowledge. What people find unforgettable about you is that you have a lot of wisdom to share. You have a lot of, like I said, you know, spiritual knowledge. You might just also be very intellectually, you know, abundant as well. Very old soul. You see the big picture. When you speak, you have significant things to say. And people, you have like a quiet but very powerful presence to you. And people find this very striking. I feel like you might not get into deep conversations with everybody, but those who do, it's like they never forget. I feel like there's a tipping point in knowing people where you have that first big, deep conversation, and that's where their perception of you shifts and changes. So they might just think you're quiet or shy, but it's like once you have the opportunity and the level of trust or comfort to be able to open up, you say things that just are branded into their brain. It sticks with them forever. That's cool. So let's see what else you have. There we go. That's why. Scorpio, the animal. Transformative, intense, passionate, secretive, carnal, thorough, obsessive, intimate, primal, lusty, deep, eternal, resourceful, mysterious, regenerative, compulsive, destructive, and manipulative. So I'm really drawn into transformative, thorough, and eternal. Yeah, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Scorpio is also the house that deals with a lot of secrecy and kind of occult knowledge. So you have a lot of spiritual wisdom. Again, with all the snakes, you know, all about shedding your old skin and transformation. You've been through many lifetimes. Very old soul. And I feel like you are wise enough to know that not everybody is ready to hear the deepest truths that our universe has to offer. So you don't waste your time. Like, for you, sharing information isn't about getting the validation of, oh, that person knows things, right? You share information when it's pertinent. Like, very high priestess energy. Like, you're not here to share your knowledge, again, for that level of validation or to be identified as a wise one. You share only with the people who are ready to hear it. Your words, your energy, your time, your wisdom is precious. And you only give it to people who are going to do something valuable with it, who will honor it as sacred information. Especially being drawn into eternal, I feel like you understand the nature of the spiritual realm and this reality. Like, you understand that this reality is just a blink, a fleeting glance. So you don't get too hung up on things of this world. People might find you very otherworldly. People might say that you're a little bit serious, or just like intense. I feel like you're somebody who is not afraid of transformation and growth, but you also don't waste your energy in restlessness. Very poised. So let's see what else you have. Frustration, okay. New love, okay. And, okay, and love. Okay, so what people find unforgettable about you. I think this is one person in particular. This could be people that these are people that get romantically involved with you. I feel like there's a couple things that are coming through. There is a focus on one person in particular, but in general, the people that you might be very selective with who you date. You might be the one who, you might do this thing where you have two speeds. You either like will date someone for a short period of time and then break it off, or you're with somebody for a really long time. And that's because you know very quickly. You're very intuitive. You're very shrewd. You are a human BS detector. But with that energy of eternal, the 8th house that Scorpio rules is all about intimate mergers, right? Where the I becomes we. The me is stripped away to make room for the we. And it's this intense, intimate investment of soul and energy. You have excuse my burp, I'm sorry. You have a life partner, whether you've met them yet or not, that is your soul partner in pretty much every single life. Sometimes maybe you find other ways to be partnered together, like you could, play the roles of parent and child. You guys are always locked in a significant partnership every life, and most of the time it's love related. So you might find that you hit a lot of roadblocks in dating, or that, again, you might date somebody for a really short period of time for the most part, or you only have like really short relationships, or they're like really like you're in for the long haul, and that's because you're looking for your person. With frustration, I feel like you're a very rare breed, and so you're a rare bird and you're looking for another rare bird. People might fall in love with you very easily, or people might want to get close to you, and they might get very frustrated when you're like, nope, sorry. Or, you go on a handful of dates, or you date for a couple months and you break it off, right? And it might be frustrating for those who are very invested in you. I feel like a lot of people are trying to catch you. And it's not like this, like, highly like Queen of Wands, sensual, magnetic energy. It's just the people who gravitate toward you are already going to be older souls anyway, even if they're not quite as far along as you are. But you have one life partner. You have one specific, not one life partner, one soul partner that is your soul partner in every single lifetime in a major capacity, most of which are romantic. And you're looking for them. I feel like this might be your last incarnation, or you're getting to the final rounds. You're not tossed about by the winds of change in life because you understand change is a constant. In fact, living in our 3D world existence might be really challenging for you because you're very much of that spiritual energy, of that spiritual ilk. And it's like this world feels almost paradoxically immaterial. And you're looking for somebody else who has gone through so many incarnations, has gone through so many lessons the way you have. And this is why I feel like it's really interesting, because people are drawn into your energy. It's intriguing. I feel like you find and you help help people through moments of transition and transformation with the snakes. You might also be a healer. But people want to be important to you the way you're important to them. And there's frustration from them because they're not your person. People see in you something special, and it's almost like they want to catch it for themselves. They want to be the one that caught the shooting star. But people get frustrated because there's always a level to which there's always going to be another layer of you. And most people are going to get frustrated because there's always going to be a level to which they know deep down, intuitively, probably not consciously, they know they're never going to get to that deepest layer. Only your person gets there. Only your person knows you like that. And nobody else can get to that place. That's between you and spirit and your person. So I do feel like with new love, you have a lot of people who try to hit you with Cupid's arrow. And it's not saying you don't care or you don't have feelings for other people, but ultimately I feel like you understand deep down that we don't have to handcuff permanence and significance together. Somebody can be an important part of your life and not be in it for all that long or for the majority of it. You understand that, whereas a lot of people are still working through their attachment. And in fact, I feel like your presence in people's life helps trigger some attachment issues to come up for their awareness and their contemplation, reflection, and healing. So I want to know, I am going to ask about this soul partner, but I want to know more about, okay, yeah, I was going to say in general, yep, what people find unforgettable about you. Yeah, and the Three of Wands, okay. We have the Page of Swords reversed at the bottom. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee. I feel like you teach a lot without, people learn a lot from you, but a lot of it is subconscious. It's under the surface. I feel like a lot of the times they don't even fully integrate what they're learning from you until a long time later with the Three of Wands. There are a lot of people who you sow the seeds, you plant the seeds of change within them, and you're never going to see it come to fruition, but just know that. Your energy is powerful and it triggers things within people. It triggers the shedding of an old skin. Or again, almost like plants the seeds for it. So when the final kind of tipping point thing happens and they go through a transformation, they almost will be able to call back the things that you have said. It's like that's when the energy becomes active. Because I feel like a lot of people with the Ace of Swords reversed and the Seven of Swords, people don't fully understand you until they do. And usually by that point, I feel like you're long gone from their life. You might have people reach out years later. It's because they're thinking of you. Because there's something that you said that didn't get through to them before. Even look how with the Ace of Swords, she's pointing at the Eight of Wands, right? This can be a lot of like spiritual energy, a lot of fast forward spiritual movement. And this can also be kind of like spiritual messages coming in quickly. Like, I feel like when people are around you, they get a lot of downloads, and it's not really till they're ready to ground that information and take those next steps forward that they start processing it. And this might be, like I said, long after you're gone. You're very secretive as well with the Seven of Swords, and I don't think this is like a treacherous, deceitful way. You're just very private. Scorpio is all about that. Very private, very mysterious. As a result, I think people get the wrong impression about you a lot. People don't really understand what you're about because most people, their souls are just much younger. They don't understand the complexity. I do want to clarify this Three of Wands though. Oh, Queen of Wands and Six of Swords reverse. Interesting. This popped up in group 2, so if you were stuck between the two, you might want to watch that. In the Page of Wands reverse. Okay. And Judgment at the bottom. Oh, I'll take it. And the Fool under that. Okay, I like this. So what I feel like this is when people get stuck, whenever I have the King or Queen of one suit and the Page of the same suit, that's a parent-child relationship for me. This goes back to issues around attachment as well as self-worth, right? I was talking about this in group 2, but the King and Queen of Wands reversed for me in an inner child healing context can talk about parents that are very selfish, or parents who are kind of like narcissistic, right? This can also talk about parents who are really like unmotivated. So they, you know, they might, whether it's like for selfish reasons or not, right? So like, let's say like you have a parent who's really, really depressed, and it's not like they're trying to, you know, they're not being actively selfish, but they don't have the energy, they don't have, you know, they're not in a mental state where they can give their child what they need. So either way, the child ends up feeling kind of like emotionally and spiritually abandoned. Right? Like they have to fend for themselves. They have to tend to the parent. They have to kind of put their wants, needs, desires, their development as a person, as a soul in childhood off to the side and defer it for later, right? So with the Three of Wands reversed and these coming out to clarify, I feel like a lot of the people who come across you, again, you plant the seeds and you kind of get people to, again, like you help people with their healing, but this is by causing or pointing out a death, right? A transformation, the end of something. And a lot of people might try to run away from your energy sometimes. So I feel like it's like very polarizing. Either people try to run away from it because they're very triggered by, you know, what you say, what you do. It triggers up some healing that needs to happen, so they try to run away. Or they start the healing and then they get very, with love, they get very attached to you. And there's almost frustration because, again, I think they always know at some level you're waiting for your soul partner. You're waiting for your person. So it's like, we are here and we are doing important work together right now in the moment, right? In the now. But some part of you always knows this isn't it. And the other person can tell. They can pick up on it, even if it's all very like deeply buried in their subconscious. They know. So they might try to cling to you extra hard. They might try to, you know, kind of like almost own you a little bit, or lock you down, or try to feel like they understand you. Like this might be people trying to tell you who you are a lot. There's something here about people, like your energy, it like I said, it belongs to 3 people: you, spirit, and your soul partner. It doesn't belong to your partner, but you know what I mean. Like that's who your most intimate energy goes to. That's it. And so a lot of people either want to own it to prove to themselves that they can, like they can have you, that they are worthy of, like, you know, to prove themselves as like attached to you, but also your forever partner, because they get attached to your healing energy. Because I do feel like you do offer a lot of wisdom, a lot of love, a lot of guidance. You might really sit and listen to people, again, you bear witness to their transformation, and a lot of that has to do with bearing witness to their emotions. You might be like, again, a natural counselor. So people either want to hold on to this, or they can get resentful if they're getting triggered and try to run away from the healing. They might also have that sense of like, they can sense in your energy that you're waiting for your soul partner. And if they feel like they're not it, they try to run away. There's a lot here around perception and truth and personal power. And you bring these themes to the surface for other people. So people never forget you, because I think a lot of people are still trying to unravel you years after you've gone. And I do feel like it's usually you who leaves first, because there's a spiritual knowing and a calling of like, this phase is done and now I'm meant to move on. You're very in tune with your cycles and when you need to move forward, when somebody's transformation is complete or your part in their transformation is complete. So that's cool. I want to know about this soul partner though. You guys are always together. Always. Every lifetime. I'm hearing I wouldn't miss out on this. So like this person always comes back for you and you for them. Yeah, the High Priestess. You guys are very spiritually connected. There's a lot of telepathy here. You see signs, you see clues about them all the time in meditation and in your dreams. You might not know that's what they are until later on in retrospect, you know, throughout your journey, you start to put the pieces together. But there have been little Easter egg clues about this person your entire life. And you guys did it like that on purpose. 7 of Wands reversed. Yeah, I'm not surprised. 10 of Cups. Oh, this is beautiful. The Page of Pentacles. Yeah, see? The Magician. Okay. The 10 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords. Okay, so what happened here? When it comes to this person, you know, I think you guys have had many cycles, some of which in your past lives have been painful. You might have cycles in this life that are painful. But what I'm seeing more than anything else is that 7 of Wands reversed, this is going to be the person that you just are completely real in front of. There's no guarding anything. There's no, because I feel like you guys don't necessarily hide things or hold things back because you feel like you can't. But it's just that awareness that like this is, like I think you guys like to be private. You like to be intimate. You like to hold your energy back for yourself and for spirit. And there's an awareness that you guys are, it reminds me of that quote, whatever souls are made of, his and mine are the same. It's like you guys are made of the same stuff. You guys have been searching for each other. You've been all around looking for each other. You also are manifesting each other throughout major breakthroughs, turning points, and huge cycles in your life. But there will be like no energetic barrier between you and this person. It's going to flow. Granted, that might not be right away. Like I said, these might be, you might have to go through a difficult cycle with them first, a clearing and purging cycle. I do feel like you guys might have points where you're feeling like a little defensive. This person also too might help you with the final round of a really big healing cycle of healing past heartache. But it's like once you guys clear away either this pain from other people in this lifetime or a pain point cycle with your person, I feel like there's all this beautiful energy. You're just not going to be guarded toward them. Because with the 10 of Cups and the Page of Pentacles and the Magician, you guys just know. You've had this beautiful 10 of Cups before, right? You've had it all. Emotional fulfillment with this person. This is somebody who just makes your heart feel incredibly full. This is somebody who you can learn with, you can grow with. But this is also somebody who you've mastered the human experience with lifetime after lifetime. This is why I think this is either your last incarnation or you guys are getting really close to the end. And this is why if there's any pain here between the two of you, with a full moon, it's in order to wrap that cycle up because this is very likely your last time around. And you guys are meant to have this beautiful love, this beautiful family. You might meet this person at night. I like that from their perspective, the right eye is covered and the left eye is visible because the left side of the body is the divine feminine and associated with our intuition. Also too, so this is two feminines in this particular deck, but I thought it was a feminine and a masculine for a second. The feminine might recognize the masculine before the masculine recognizes what's happening. With the black cat and the white dog, you guys are very, very, very psychically, intuitively connected and very loyal to each other, and that's why it doesn't work out with anybody else. This person might have a very similar backstory to you. You guys may have experienced a lot of pain, very difficult cycles, a lot of betrayal before you guys met each other. And it's like when you come together, there is understanding. That's why you don't fight it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Everything happened the way it did because it couldn't be anyone other than you. And I wouldn't want it to be, is kind of the energy. So wrapping that up, we're kind of like, putting a nice little bow on it. Why do people find you unforgettable? You trigger a lot of healing in them. People find you unforgettable because you offer a lot of really intense divine wisdom. And because there's always some part of you, like I said, with this lineup here, I'm making a mess. People are still unraveling you and what you said long after you're out of each other's lives. You help them in their healing process, and I think you offer them divine love. Divine love without attachment, except for your person, where there will be this incredible intimate bond that is both spiritual and that you get to experience in the 3D together. You guys will have a long journey ahead of you with the 10 of Cups, with a lot of happiness, but also with spiritual service with that High Priestess we saw earlier, connecting spiritually. So I want to kind of like, I don't know, I want to pull like a couple of cards to sort of close you guys out on your awesome reading. What's at the bottom? Yeah, the Chariot reversed. I'm not surprised. Oh boy. The Knight of Swords, Strength, and the Two of Wands. Okay, some of you might have moments, I'm feeling like, on your journey where you're wondering if you're doing it right, is kind of the energy. There's like this energy, especially when it comes to other people, of like, if you kind of always have that level where, you know, again, there's the deepest layers of you. It's hard for you to share them with other people. It's hard for you to even be able to articulate them. Just know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're not broken. You're not, you know, you're not doing love wrong. Patience is needed, because like some of you, I'm almost getting with the Knight of Swords. We have air energy here, by the way, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and then we have Leo here. Some of you might kind of get discouraged or down on yourself and be like, why can't I ever make it work? Am I ever going to be able to have something long lasting? Am I just running away from people all the time? Especially after you've had your own healing journey, you might kind of like wonder if you might go back and forth between like, is this my spiritual path, or am I just really, really unhealed? And what Spirit wants you to know is that you're going to go through the first period of your life is going to be a lot of moving and shifting around interpersonally. But to have patience and to have strength, because there will be a shift, right? He's holding the world here. So there's going to be, as you finish up kind of that first act of your life, there will be a massive shift into that kind of 10 of Cups reality with your person. You're just meant to connect with people differently than the average person, right? So if you find that you kind of like, just focus on if you're happy with it, right? If you feel good living the way you're living, right? Like having some of your deepest self be private, or you feel okay, like, you know, being an important player in somebody's life for a short period of time, or for, you know, however long a period of time, and then you both kind of move forward. If it makes you happy, you feel good about it, you're helping people, that's all that matters. It doesn't have to look a certain way, right? You don't have to walk the same path as everybody else, especially where you're really wrapping up in this lifetime, or you're like, you know, again, like maybe you have like 1 or 2 more left. You're in the wrap up period. Excuse me. So your path is going to look drastically different than the average person's, and that's okay. So don't worry about that. Don't feel like you're doing this whole thing wrong. If you're happy with your life and you're living in alignment and you are living in tune with the love of the universe, the love of spirit, you're not doing it wrong. And just know that your person will come in if they haven't already. If you guys are in separation now, you guys will come back together. It's the only way. So I hope that helped, love bug. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an honor, a delight, and a joy to get to read for you today. And I hope I get to again in the future. Take care, okay? All right. Bye.